Welcome, everybody, back to the Real Marks of Long Island, and happy Mother effing Valentine's Day to all you folks out there who are our Valentine today. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate you listening all the time. If we could give you many of chocolates, maybe some Sour Patch Kids or some Fun Dip straight from the Valentine's Day aisle in my world, Giant, but on the Long Island world, it is Stop and Shop. We would, but instead we will give you and Valentine you an amazing podcast for today. And there's a lot to unwrap, especially because we already have our first official match of WrestleMania. And were you guys expecting an early match slated off the top like this? I mean, last year we did get, Cody picking Roman around this time, but I wasn't expecting a quick decision off Jay on this one.
I mean, I kind of did see it coming. It was really the only logical explanation. We discussed this. We kind of know. We think we know which route Cody's going to go, or Cody's path to WrestleMania is going to, go down. But yeah, Jay and Cody are just too close of friends, and we know that Jay has already had that rivalry with Gunther. He's challenged him twice already. He's come close before, and it's just the perfect heel versus face WrestleMania match. One of the main events. So, did I expect it to be announced as quickly? Probably not. Maybe they could have teased it a little bit longer, especially after that tag team match that Jay had with Cody. But we all knew this is the route that they were going to go.
Yeah, I was pretty sure that they were going to go this route too, especially with the history between Gunther and Jay, and also Cody and Jay. Like Justin said, I didn't think they were going to go that route. I mean, down the line, could they? Yeah, but if you're going to do face versus face at WrestleMania with someone like Jay, who's so over, it would just be a hard balancing act. I think it's a little easier if you take the Cody Cena route. There's levels to that. They can kind of go off differently. They're not both active currently, kind of thing. But yeah, I think Jay and Gunther's going to kill it. I think Jay is just on fire right now. And I see them destroying it at WrestleMania, and Jay coming out as our new champ.
I want it. It reminds me of last year when we went to WrestleMania and Cody winning that championship, because we've seen Jay so far this year have his ups and downs. 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, he won tag team gold with Cody. Year later, he wins the Intercontinental Championship for like 3 weeks. He's had his World Heavyweight Championship matches and lost, and this is his time. And I disagree with everyone on the internet that thinks that this match shouldn't be a WrestleMania match, that Jay doesn't deserve it, because like you said it, and we've said it many times over on this podcast, the man is the most over in the industry right now. Everyone's yeeting, when his music hits, everyone is involved in that intro. And to me, like, that's a testament to him and what he's done, especially from transitioning from a tag team wrestler to a solo wrestler. Not many people can do that. And he's really gotten over, with the fans. So I want it. I think it'll be electric if he wins the title at WrestleMania. I think Las Vegas is going to explode if he's eaten with the World Heavyweight Championship. Give me that. I'm all for it.
Yeah, isn't it crazy just the path, like the storyline that Jay has taken, even from like during the regular OG Bloodline days, where like he was the one that didn't want to yeet. He was so serious, he was always Roman's right-hand man, like not taking shit from anyone. Jimmy was always the clown. And now, you had the whole thing with him and Sammy, and now it's come complete 180. It is so awesome to see. And Jay really is running away with it. And I think we mentioned it last week. It's kind of like Kofi Mania. Like, people are going to be pissed if he does not defeat Gunther at WrestleMania. So Triple H, I don't know what you and the bookers have in store, but I think I know what us three want.
Yeah, I think I think it's like a Daniel Bryan-esque as well. It's got that crowd interaction. It's got everyone behind him. Yeah, the internet could say what the internet wants to say. That's neither here nor there. But it's crazy, too, because a couple months ago when Jay lost the Intercontinental Championship very quickly, we were all pissed. We were like, I get it. He's doing the bloodline thing, and he's got to go back and do that. And we wanted to see him get back in singles gold territory, and that's exactly where he is. Of course, a step higher now, and guy deserves it. Fans are behind him. It'd be silly if he didn't go over at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it makes me think about what CM Punk said in an interview recently. People are asking him, how does it feel that, you didn't win the Rumble? You might not win the Elimination Chamber. Where's your WrestleMania main event? And something he said, which is like super mature of him, and also I completely agree with, is the fact that he's like, that's my chase. Look what they did with Cody, right? He lost his first match against Roman. Year later, he comes back, and it was even more electric for him to win, right? And him right now, CM Punk's big story is getting that WrestleMania main event. So he likes the chase. He's a big fan of the chase, and he's for it, right? Because I think there is moments and times where you need to tease a little bit. And if you can extend that a little bit, or even if a year, and it pays off big time, it's worth it. But at this moment, for me, pull the trigger on Jay. He is the most over. Get him that championship, and it will be well-deserved, and everyone will freaking love it.
No, I agree. And to your, like you just said, like with it being his like way to getting to Mania, like everyone's so hyper-focused on this favor that Paul Heyman owes CM Punk. Like, why does it have to be this year? Is it because of how old CM Punk is? Like, can this be a favor down the line? Like I understand Mania is months away now, but it's to the point where like, does he really want to pull a favor just to be in a triple threat match? Like that doesn't seem like a CM Punk move, Like,
no.
your favor to me is forcing me into a match with two guys that deserve it, and I haven't deserved it yet. Like, I don't know. So maybe this favor, long-term booking, long-term, like this favor could come down 5-6 months from now, and also we're like, oh shit, remember that favor that Heyman owed Punk? Like that would be like that oh shit moment. So I don't know. I really don't want to see a triple threat match. I hope that he doesn't interject in that way. We'll see what happens, but let that marinate.
Yeah, I completely agree. Let it marinate.
Yeah.
I want people, like you said, Justin, to like that oh shit moment where like that's the favor, like, and not make it as obvious as people want it to be. So I'm for that. Like, I think even if it's a year later, let people completely forget, and then you just see CM Punk come in, 31 in a 30-man Rumble and toss out the last person and win the Rumble that way. Like that would be epic as shit. I don't know. I want that favor to be just out of nowhere, kind of like Money in the Bank, because every time, we've seen Money in the Bank teased a lot. We've seen it come out of nowhere, and I think they should treat it like that. And speaking of, where Cody's going for his championship match for WrestleMania, we have CM Punk, John Cena, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre. I think there's 2 more spots left. Who do we think fills those spots? If we think Cena's going to win, do you put a Roman Reigns in there to like, cap that off to make it real, like main event, high level? Or do you throw some people in there that you can, shine a little bit, but if Cena's going to come out with this W, like, get some people in there, let them show their stuff, but they're ultimately going to lose to the 16-time, maybe future 17-time world champion?
I think like I could see like Kevin Owens earning a spot, and then maybe we get a Randy return, beating him up, knocking him out of the chamber, and Randy takes his space. I think Randy does come back before WrestleMania, and it would be a disservice to us and to Randy for him to not be involved in not only the chamber, but WrestleMania as a whole. I just can't see Randy sitting at home through Mania season. I know he's happy to sit at home sometimes, but the competitor in him has to be like, all right, Cena's back, Cody's on top, Jay's on top. All right, it's my turn to come back. So I see Randy coming in, like I said, maybe in a KO spot, maybe a Sammy, maybe like a Braun Breaker somehow. I don't know. Somebody. It's going to be interesting to see who fills those 2 spots.
Yeah, for me, I don't believe we're gonna get Roman because I think Roman's going to the next time we see Roman, he's gonna be wiping the floor with Seth Rollins' face. That's gonna set up, I think, Rollins and Roman for hopefully Mania. That would be epic. But who knows? Nate, we just saw Solo Sikoa return. Solo just returned on SmackDown, so maybe he somehow interjects himself into the Elimination Chamber scene. Do I think he'll win? Hell no. But he could be an option for the Bloodline 2.0 to, have a spot in that match. I would love to see Jacob Fatu. He would fucking go rampant in that cage. But I don't know. I don't think they've announced any matches yet, right? So we don't even know.
There is Seth and Finn, right? On Raw Monday is for the Chamber.
Well, yeah, I think he's talking about the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view itself for PLE.
Oh, right. My bad.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I don't know. I just totally.
And we're halfway there. Like,
no, I know.
March 1st is Elimination Chamber. We're halfway there. Like, and nothing has been really announced yet besides these Elimination Chamber matches. And I feel like when they do the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, they don't really do title matches because they want, they want the long haul for WrestleMania for those championship matches. But one thing that piqued my interest was the interaction between AJ and Braun Breaker. Like, could that potentially be at Elimination Chamber? Could that be WrestleMania? I think for me personally, and especially what you said before with Seth and Roman, there's 2 people that I think need a big win for the next pay-per-view. AJ Styles, Seth Rollins. Seth has been, again, but he always falls into this rut where he's the guy who's the fucking playmaker, but then loses. So I can see Seth taking the win over Roman. If AJ obviously goes against Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship, Braun Breaker's going to win. But I think AJ's next pay-per-view has to be a big win. I think he needs that W. He's been off TV for a while, and I think he really needs that boost. And I hope it's against someone good. I hope they give him a good feud, but I hope they don't throw him right to Braun Breaker right away because he does need a good, big pay-per-view win before he does that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, especially like you said, he's been off TV. Even before that, he was, yeah, sure, he main evented, in France with Cody, but like you said, he's come up short. And now, his group, the Good Brothers just got released again. So, in that list of releases that just recently happened. So now AJ is alone. He's got Mishin, I guess, behind him, but we haven't seen them interact on TV yet. And now he's on Raw. So Mishin's on SmackDown, AJ's on Raw. So now you really need to figure out a storyline for AJ Styles, especially you said, him returning, him coming back. Is it Braun Breaker right away? Like you said, I hope it's not. Do a little slow build to that. But you're right, man. After that injury to AJ, he needs some direction, and he deserves direction. So I hope they do him right.
Yeah, I think they might hold off on Braun with AJ till Mania and maybe give him something small with. I know that he had a segment with Judgment Day and Dom. They went back and forth a little bit. Give him a nice, easy layup against Dom, and get him back in the groove of things. And then eventually down the road, I don't think he'll beat Braun like you said, Ty, but they'll have a sick match and it'll be insane. So that would be perfect for a Mania card, perfect for a Mania spot. But yeah, I think for Chamber, something with Judgment Day, something with Dom, something with JD, something in that aspect to get him. Well, JD's hurt, but something to get him back in that, winning column and moving up.
Yeah, I think he does have a match against Dominic on Monday. I think they were gearing for that, and I do want to change gears a little bit to maybe some Judgment Day because, I was a big fan. We were all big fans of Judgment Day, but to me, it's just now we're at this point where every week it's Finn and Liv just bickering, and it's kind of getting old to me. I think they just need to just cut the losses, have Finn and JD, do their own thing. Dom, Liv, and Raquel do their own thing with Carlito. But like even that, like I feel like Dom's at that point where like he doesn't need to be with Liv. I think he can do his own thing. Personally, I would love what Logan Paul has been boasting in his podcast. I would love to see Logan and Dom together, just being freaking menaces on TV. I think that would be fucking brilliant, and I'd be all for that. I think that would, they would draw so much heat. Logan couldn't even talk on Monday night because of how much heat he was getting. Just imagine the two of them as a tag team. It would be awesome.
Yeah, the way that Logan Paul spoke about Dom on the podcast, that he wants to work with him. And he said that he saw it even from I think it was his first Mania match when it was him and Miz versus the Mysterios. He said like this guy, he at that time he was kind of lost. We hated Dom. And we like not hated like the heel hate, like get this guy off my TV. He fucking sucks. Hate. But he's come into his own, and like you said, those two could draw massive heat, and they just have to figure out a way to really make it happen. Like, yeah, sure, you can make it happen on a podcast, but you really got to get the stories to line up. So maybe, I don't know, you have just another interaction with them behind the scenes. Like I know Logan joked about, Dominic on a pole, to hold on to Dominic. So we'll see. It's interesting because Logan needs a spot too. I feel like Logan needs friends, and the only friend that he would ever get is probably Dom.
Man, that heat would be. They wouldn't be able to cut. They wouldn't be able to say two words. They wouldn't be able to string together any kind of promo because it would just be straight heat, and it would be awesome. I mean, like you said, Ty, like we love the Judgment Day, and it's just kind of getting stale. And if they change it up and variety pack it any way they want, I just think Finn and JD move away. Dom can do his own Judgment Day if he wants to. I think I agree that he doesn't need Liv anymore. I think that's kind of, that was just to get back at Rhea. That's pretty much guaranteed. So with Damian with Priest on SmackDown and everyone else doing their own thing on Raw, I think you can, split it up, and you could do like a Logan Paul, have him have a stable. Dom could be his, second in command. And I think he would much rather take orders from Logan Paul than Finn. So we'll see. It'd be awesome. I'd be all for it.
Speaking about the Judgment Day, Liv, after that fight, did you see the photos that she posted with the gash? Those photos were sick, and Liv is a bad bitch. My God, EO left her marked up, and yeah, that was well done to keep the blood on your face, because that she knows what she's doing.
Even during that promo with Finn, like when she stood up, it was just it was pretty brutal. But speaking on the women's division a little bit, who does Charlotte pick? Does she pick Rhea or does she pick Tiffany Stratton? Like, does that have to? Because I'm assuming there's going to be an elimination chamber match for the women's, whoever is left. So I think within the next 2 weeks we get an answer. Like, who do you guys think that that Charlotte should face?
I think we've discussed it. I want to see Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton. They had the confrontation on SmackDown. That's just the route that I want her to go. I saw, Charlotte showed up on NXT. She spoke to Julia. She spoke to Roxanne. She spoke to Bayley. She spoke to Cora Jade. All of them. I just think Tiffany Stratton's the right move. Because I currently think Tiffany's. I don't think she's listed as a face, but the crowd fucking loves her. Yeah. She's just that. She's that natural cheering reaction. She could be as bitchy as she wants, but she's going to get cheered. Charlotte, she's getting that heel aspect again because that's who she is, and everyone's kind of getting sick of seeing her face and her winning. I think the easy answer is Tiffany Stratton. I don't want to see Rhea and Charlotte again. It's old to me. Yeah, sure, they throw great matches, but do we need to see a third one? I don't know.
I want a third one.
Yeah.
I see personally, like, because Charlotte, to me, if it's Charlotte and Tiffany, I think Charlotte's gonna win. I don't think they let Tiffany win that one, and I think she should still have some time as the champion. But to me, like Rhea and Charlotte, I think that's a toss-up. And honestly, I think they might have Rhea come out on top. We spoke about it, I think, last time that, in my opinion, like Charlotte and Alexa Bliss said it best in a promo many, many years ago. Who was Charlotte Flair without the championship? And I think she, I guess maybe that's the route she goes because she beats Tiffany. She gets the championship. But I just want another banger between Rhea and Charlotte. Cord, who do you think?
Cody Rhodes is the number one wrestler in the world.
Well,
we're talking about the woman.
He is. I can't disagree with that fact. But getting back to what you said, I'm on board for Rhea and Charlotte as well. Only because, you made some good points. I think Rhea and Charlotte have great chemistry together. I think Tiffany and Rhea are so over right now as faces, even if Tiffany is technically a heel, that Charlotte just automatically slips into that bad girl role. And I also think that Nia is going to probably win the EC and go after Tiffany because that just makes the most sense to me. We don't need Rhea and Nia again, anything like that. So I think no matter how it plays out, Charlotte loses. I think if she was to face Tiffany and if she was to face Rhea, she would lose either way. Just because I think they're going to try and build her up as not this unstoppable, unbeatable championship force. Like, let her struggle a little bit. You want the fans to be on her side. Show some struggle, show some losses, show some change, show that she's not always just going to destroy everyone in her path and be champion for a gazillion days like Roman or like her dad, have her be a number one contender, lose a number one contender match, like become US champ, become IC champ, whatever. Like
don't become United States champion. No,
I'm sorry. I said it then I realized. I see. We don't talk bad about Chelsea Green on this podcast. My apologies.
No, but Corey, yeah. I'm right there with you. I think that's perfect. I think that would, definitely give her some, more dimensions as a character. And I'm completely for that. But like speaking of dimensions, we got a Hugger Bailey back on NXT. Did we expect that? Like what?
I think it was awesome, but I think it's cool how Bailey has been legitimately fighting people the past week. I think it was on Twitter. She's been fighting wrestlers that she's like met at meet and greets when they were little, like Cora Jade. She just fought Lyra Valkyria, and obviously Roxanne Perez, huge fan of Hugger Bailey. I think it's awesome. It was really cool. I thought she played it really. She looked great. I'm excited to see that match at Vengeance Day. I think Roxanne already being pretty much called up kind of ruins that match for me a little bit. I think we know how that's going to end. But I mean, what'd you think about the Hugger Bailey? Because there's something else that happened on NXT that we definitely have to talk about.
Yeah, that involves Cody's very good friend. I can't wait to talk about that. But I thought that was great. I love it. I just love in general what NXT is doing. I wish I could see it live. MSG,
Same.
James Dolan, jerks. But it's just so good. And having these talent, like Bailey come down and to have these banger of matches and to be involved and want to be involved is just awesome. And the women's division, we've said it week in, week out, it is just so deep and it is so strong and it's so refreshing to see. Like, I was just pulling Topps cards and like maybe 10 years ago when you're pulling wrestling cards and you pull a girl, Auto, you're pissed. I pulled an Io Sky. I was stoked. Like, the division is so strong. The respect on women is so strong. I saw that in WWE 2K25, women can bleed now, which that's never happened before. It's just so refreshing, and I love every second of it. Every possible scenario imaginable for women, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong no matter who you match up where, and I love it.
Let me tell you this: Roxanne Perez coming out as Hugger Bailey and not winning the Royal Rumble to me sets me the fuck off because she has it. She is going to be a multi-time world champion. Forget the women's U.S. champion or IC champion. She's going straight to the fucking moon, and I can't wait for that. And to me, if we, we're very sure, like you said, Gort, Nia Jax is going to win this Elimination Chamber, probably go on to face Tiffy. But Roxanne Perez deserves that win. Put her in Elimination Chamber, wrap the rocket, and fucking send her to the moon because that's what she deserves. I mean, she is a stud. She's got not only this in-ring skills, the charisma, but she's got the showmanship and she knows how to get people behind her. Especially I never expected her to do the Hugger Bailey thing, but it was perfect. She caused Bailey to lose to Cora Jade. Cora Jade gets a nice W over Bailey. It's perfect. It's perfect. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, they are going to run rampant on professional wrestling and boost it even higher than before. We're going to be past fucking Pluto at this point with wrestling because they are just so smart and they have the right people and they're pushing the right people. And I can't wait to see what happens in the future.
Yeah, the trajectory of Roxanne is straight up, like you said. And I think she's going to end up winning the chamber somehow. I don't think Nia, listen, Nia Jax. Yes, she's a indestructible force. She is the Braun Strowman of the women. She's that brute. She's that physical specimen that no woman wants to mess with. But imagine Nia and Roxanne, the final two. And then you see somehow the wits and the smarts of Roxanne come into play, and she ends up beating Nia. Then she goes and challenges, because she's a heel, she goes and challenges Rhea. So now you got fan favorite versus Roxanne, WrestleMania. I mean, that's the way you build a star. And I think Roxanne wins the Elimination Chamber.
I'd be all for it. I think she's great. She got a rock, put a rocket on her back, put her to the moon. She's got it. She got over in that Rumble, and that's not easy to do with all those people in there. And to stand out and to be the Iron Woman and, to get as far as she did I think she started at 3 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
3. And it's just that happens for a reason. She wasn't just there to make people look good. She was there because she deserved to be there. And to me, I would love to see her win the chamber. I would love to see something that we're not predicting, I would love to see Nia not win and, go to the bottom of the list. But we'll just have to wait and see. We're going to be in Nashville for this. We are never going to be able to watch this.
You guys are going to Nashville?
Never say never.
Yeah.
Never say never. I got a Pokemon Go event that weekend too. Never say never.
Your mom will kill both of us.
Not when I'm slyly got my phone to the side. Come on. Corey, I'm very good. I'm very good. So let me do me. You'll be jealous. You'll be watching with me, and it's going to be fantastic.
Sounds good.
There might be a bar when everyone wants to go to bed, and me and you are up. I'm like, yo, let's go to the wrestling bar that's playing freaking Elimination Chamber.
That'd be sick.
It was the chamber last year, right? That we had to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch.
Yeah, it was 4 o'clock
in the morning.
Yeah, I fell asleep for that one.
I was up for it. I set my alarm. I woke my ass up. It was great.
I remember that. That was a brutal wake up. My now wife was like, "Am I really marrying a guy that wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch wrestling?" Yeah, you're damn right.
I wake up all times of night for my job, so if I can wake up at 4 a.m. for something I want to watch, all right. So I'm good. I'm ready to go. Whatever time WWE wants to put on a PLE, I'll watch it. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I got up for it. I just didn't stay up for it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, you didn't. So let's talk about the huge acquisition NXT just made. Cody's boy, who showed up NXT
Absolute Ricky Starks, baby. 1 day off contract.
one
That
day.
was electric. Again, I'm going to bitch about MSG and James Dolan. I hate you because when you texted the group, Justin, that Ricky was there, all I wanted to do was turn my TV on and watch it live, and I couldn't. So I was living through Twitter, and I was ecstatic. Ricky is a beast of a talent. There's some people that think that he's just like a Rock Stone Cold mix of
No, that's
bullshit.
LA Knight. That's LA
That's
Knight.
LA Knight, but people say that about him too, that he's like a Rock ripoff with the clothes and whatever. I love Ricky Starks. I have for a long time. The fact that him and Cody are so close just proves that he has something. Cody's not just boys with everyone. You can ask TJ because he didn't like him at first. But Ricky is the man. I'm happy for him. He deserves television. The Revolution is now televised. Let's go.
Yeah, I think we all knew it was coming, but a day after his contract was like that is a big FU to Tony Khan and AEW. That the fact that he finally got his release, along with I think Miro and Aleister Black, the fact that, or Malachi, should I say, the fact that it was legitimately the next day. That's how quickly the contract came to fruition. That is some wild shit right there. But yeah, he's keeping his name. He's listed on the internal roster as Ricky Starks. I know people were afraid that they were going to try to change his name on him. He's ready. He's going to show out. It's going to be awesome. And then, when Ricky's ready, do a little stint down in NXT, and then up to the main roster you go. Yeah. I'm sure he'll probably be one of those Raw after Manias, from NXT right up to Raw. Like he'll do stand and deliver, main event probably, and then boom, right to Raw the next day. Like I cannot wait to see Ricky Starks in NXT.
Yeah.
The crowd's reaction was just perfect too. Like, no one was like, "Oh, who's that?" And that just made the moment even better.
Yeah, everyone was chanting his name. Everyone was. And to me, thinking of it, I feel like Tony Khan's got to realize that, holding on to talent's not going to do him anything. It's just going to cost him money. And you're running a business that's kind of losing a little bit. So if you can cut some losses and get people out, and yeah. Is it going to suck when they, WWE throws them in your face and uses them and they become big stars? Yeah. But use that as motivation to get your shit together and get things going. And one thing I am excited about AEW-wise is Grand Slam Australia is going to stream from HBO Max. You don't got to worry about buying, Bleacher Report? Buying the PLE on Bleacher Report? They're streaming on Max. You can watch it on Max. And I'm probably going to watch it. I think it's a Saturday. I don't know what time it is. Probably early as shit. But to me, the thing that draws me in on that end, Mariah May, Tony Storm. That match, I'm so fucking excited for. The lead up for that shit has been so good. Back to Ricky Starks. I want him to excel so bad. I think Tony, one thing that he does need to realize is that when he has stars, he needs to showcase them and not just throw what TNA's done in the past. Get the former WWE superstars and put them in the forefront. You got to focus on your stars. You got to focus on your people. Swerve Strickland, Hangman Adam Page. Have they been in the forefront? Yeah, but not for long. They focus on the Copes, the John Moxley's, Chris Jericho's. Yes, that's good when you start, right, and get the eyes on the product. But you have some stellar talent that if you put them at the helm of your fucking program, they could potentially take that very far. But I feel like he's afraid to do it that way, and he's taking the easy way out. And that's why we have this, Cope versus John Moxley thing happening at this current moment.
I mean, just so real quick with Ricky Starks, Tony Khan, you got Kendrick Lamar. Right after Ricky Starks' debut, he posted Kendrick Lamar at the halftime show. Goddamn, you just got bodied. Anyway, now back to AEW where we can throw more bodies in graves. This AEW Grand Slam show was supposed to be at the Melbourne Tennis Stadium. They couldn't even fill like a quarter of the stadium, so now they're in some rec room. Not a rec room. I apologize. It's probably a poor word, but they had to downsize their arena. That they're just not doing business. And I know, Court, you love the Rhodes, but now you have MJF in a feud with Dustin Rhodes. You had Dustin Rhodes versus MJF last night. I mean,
it's insane.
What are we doing? We have Jeff Jarrett at the forefront. We have Dustin Rhodes now. Like you just said, we have Chris Jericho. We have Cope. And we have John Moxley. That's who's leading it. Meanwhile, you just had Ricky Starks. You just had Hangman. You just...
Penta. There you go. See you, Penta.
It's just... And apparently they were about to let Rey Fenix go along with the other guys, but they did, for some reason, they're just still holding him captive. So I don't know, man. It's just, you look at the main event scene over there, and it's not good. I want to watch. I watched last night. I can't enjoy it. The only good thing is what you just said. It's Toni Storm and Mariah May, and actually,
so good.
I think it's Harley Cameron, and it's the women. Harley Cameron is so hot right now with her ventriloquism, her singing, her everything. Like,
I think she's gonna beat Mercedes Moné, dude.
Has to win.
Yes.
She has to beat Mercedes Moné. If you want anything good to come out of that show, one of the Australian women have to win the title.
Yes.
And I would actually prefer to see Harley Cameron over Toni Storm winning.
I agree. 100% agree.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But Tony doesn't know how to book. So.
And hopefully, but I feel like in this moment, right? In this moment, especially with Harley Cameron's doing, like, I feel like, the writing's on the wall, and you got like 4 belts from Mercedes Moné. So like she can finally lose that championship, especially to, accelerate someone who really hasn't been shown too much on TV, and now give her that lift, especially knocking off the superstar that is Mercedes Moné. They have to. If they don't, to me, I feel like it's very selfish, either on Tony's part or Mercedes' part. I have a fucking The Boss Sasha Banks signed poster. I saw her at Comic-Con. I'm a big fan. But if she does not drop this championship, man, it's like, again, it's selfish on her part or it's selfish on Tony's part. But they need to start putting the rocket on their own self-grown talent. Well, not self-grown, but their own talent that's not from WWE.
Yeah. Or they're just going to keep losing these people. It's just going to be the same cycle over and over again. And, there's like Britt Baker. I know that she's got some backstage issues. She's going to be next, man. She's going to jump WWE, and guess what? All those backstage issues, they're just going to disappear, just like CM Punk's. Like, you can't let, it's like watching old WCW where like everyone's booking themselves and their egos and their attitudes are just getting in the way of everything. And I hope that they can fix it, because I like AEW. I like MJF. I like Dustin Rhodes. Do I want to see them feuding against each other? Absolutely not. It makes no sense. MJF's like, oh, I idolized your brother and now he went somewhere else too. Like, it's just stupid. Like, I could go on for days about AEW. I'm not gonna, but yeah.
Is MJF in his Legend Killer era? Is that what's going on? Because he just feuded with Jeff Jarrett. Now he's on to Dustin. Like who's coming out of the woodworks next? Like which older veteran wrestler is about to go after MJF now? Maybe
he'll end the Legend of Colt. Put him out,
dude. I don't know. It's just. You literally had the hottest act in all of professional wrestling in MJF, and now he's casted away in these mid card matches. It's
crazy, dude.
I mean, I know he's not complaining. He made a bag. I know he's not complaining, but once that contract's over, he's jumping.
Dude, he's got that AEW tattoo on his leg. He's not going anywhere, man. He's an AEW lifer.
Did you just see that Pete Davidson got all his tattoos lasered off? You can get that shit lasered off in 5 minutes.
Did Pete Davidson really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy. It looks crazy.
What?
I swear to God, he has no tattoos anymore.
Yeah, he said it hurt like a bitch too.
Well, he had them everywhere. Yeah. MJF has a little thing. He could 2 minutes, not really 2 hours, but yeah, it's just a mess. It's just a mess. Did you see that Seth Rollins interview where they asked him to compare the Luka trade to something? And everyone's like, oh, MJF is Luca. No, that's not what he was saying. Like, he's saying that MJF was AD, which is not a good, not what's something you want to be compared to. It's just, it's sad because you have this talent and you have everything in front of you. You have the tools. If Shawn Michaels and Triple H can figure it out, there has to be people you can bring in. There's a billion wrestlers that are just
3 of us. Bring us in.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Bring Cody back then.
I'll book the shit out of that program.
Yeah, no.
I just want to know how long this damn Will Ospreay contract is for, because that man, I need to see him wrestle. You know.
But they probably gave him the bag too. I think they did.
But I'm sure they gave him the bag, but I just want to know how long the damn contract is, because I want to see him out of that contract so he can make up with Triple H. And they can
probably got 4 or 5 years until that happens.
I know. I just want to see him in some banger matches with some WWE guys. But yeah, I don't know. It's so frustrating because, like we say every week, they have the talent. They have some of the best talent in the world. Just fucking book it properly. Jesus Christ.
It's not that hard.
I don't know.
Yeah, so Ospreay's contract is over 3 years. No one knows what the extent is, but it's over 3 years, and it's confirmed to be 7 figures.
Yeah, he got a bag. He deserves a bag. He's the best wrestler in the goddamn world.
He'll be there for 4 more years.
What? Here's my question: will AEW be around?
Yeah.
Will Ospreay to finish that contract?
Yeah. Have you seen Tony Khan's dad's boat?
Yeah,
he got money for days.
That place ain't going anywhere.
But they need a TV. Sure, like they got this thing with Max going on, but who watches on Max? It's
okay. If they pay a network to like, hey, take our contract, who's gonna say no? Usually a network's gonna pay, the AEW or WWE to be able to, broadcast. But if you got money like Tony's dad, it's like, yo, we'll give you, $200 million tickets for the year. Who's going to say no? Right? Who's going to say no? You got commercials then also. They're making commercial money through that. They got a bag up front that, all right, usually we'd be paying for this, but now we're getting money for it. Like, shit, who's going to turn that down?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It's just the way you look into the crowd and just how all the ticket prices are completely nosediving. You would expect, it to go the way that WCW did. But, you're right. Tony's got this money. So
yeah, it's a shame, but whatever. Not going to change.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, give us your thoughts on Elimination Chamber on AEW, even though, we kind of shit on it sometimes. But if you like it, let us know why. What do you want to see from it? What do you enjoy from it? What's your road to WrestleMania looking like? What do you want? Who are you seeing? What kind of matches are you predicting? Give us thoughts in the comments. We appreciate the listens. We appreciate the watches. And we will see you guys on the next one. Real Marks out.